So I saw the Dannon Greek yogurt Full House commercial during the big game. Still had the same effect on me. You can't just put one nostalgia reference into a 30-second commercial and think, hey, we got a commercial hit. It just doesn't work that way. Put 57 nostalgia references in one commercial, however, and that is commercial gold. Hi, I'm Andre and I'm a black nerd, and like many of you, I watched the Denver Broncos get destroyed at the big game. Jeez, the last time I saw Denver look that bad, he was a last dinosaur. He was my friend and a whole lot more, but apparently not Seattle's friend. Shows me a world I never saw before, a world where you only get 8 points. Don't worry, Denver, if you make the Super Bowl next year, you can actually roll over those points to your game. These are the end of my sports jokes. Back to nerd stuff. Between that big game, we had a bunch of commercials, and a lot of the commercials were boring. I mean, come on, guys. We got a big celebrity. Or we got bulls ready to have sex. That was awkward. Just use puppies and horses. That's all you need. Except for the Jaguar commercial, the one that had Loki and the Mandarin and Sinestro. That was good. I like that crossover. When is that movie coming out? I didn't know Sinestro hung out with Marvel villains. Should have taken some of their secrets with them back to Green Lantern, and that movie would have done better. Oh snap, I just talked crap about Ryan Reynolds, who made millions of dollars making that movie. Damn, his heart's broken. Also, kudos to Cheerios for using the interracial family again. Coca-Cola Nice America commercial. Guys, if you're really upset about that commercial, then you leave the country, damn. And thank you, H&M, for that David Beckham commercial that made me question my sexuality. I don't care if you like chicks or not, that dude was hot. Victoria Beckham, can I get some of that? Puff puff pass, posh. I like women. But the company that knocked it out of the park in the commercials, who I never would have believed would do so, was Radio Shack. It looks like your old school Radio Shack store. Guy picks up the phone and he's just like, the 80's just called. They want their store back. And then all of a sudden, an explosion of 80's comes into the place and just takes it over. I'm talking about everybody. Let me break it down for you. I'm talking about Kid and Play, California Raisins, Chucky, Alf, Eric Estrada, Hulk Hogan, Sergeant Slaughter, Twisted Sister, Teen Wolf, Jason Voorhees, Slimer, Cubert, Cliff Clavin from Cheers, Mary Lou Retton, who still looks hot, by the way. God dang, Mary Lou Retton. You can flip over here anytime. Everybody's working for the weekend. They take everything out of the Radio Shack and stuff it in a DeLorean and drive off. And this was all to promote that Radio Shack's gonna get a new look, a new design, basically to become the next Apple store. I used to be a Radio Shack connoisseur back in the day. I used to go to the mall all the time, and those were my stops. It was Radio Shack, EB Games, Electronic Gaming Boutique, KB Toys, Service Merchandise, Montgomery Ward. I'm loving that most of the stores I used to go to when I went to the mall are now bankrupt or closed. I'm sorry. I love the irony that they are trying to say, we're the new Radio Shack. And it's like, well, you're still called Radio Shack. Shouldn't you be called iPod Shack, or just the fact that you're a shack? Maybe they can do Radio Shack with a Q and have Shack as a spokesman. That'd be kind of interesting. Come by to Radio Shack. I am Kazam. I say if this doesn't work, if their business doesn't get better from this modernization, they should revert back, even further back. They should become the most 80s store that you ever go to. 80s look, 80s products. I want them selling old boom boxes, old watches, neon colored wrist straps, Tiger Electronic football games, or those little football games where it was like the people would be on top of the machine and it would like buzz around with the magnets and just and those little tiny arcades, like the one that Stripe was playing in Gremlins, a little mini Donkey Kong arcade machine. Sell those. Dude, you would make so much money doing that, Radio Shack, and if you don't do it, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna call up Babbage's, resurrect them to do it. Babbage's. I miss you, Babbage's and Funko Land. It is all your fault, GameStop. You killed them all. Now you're probably thinking, is Andre a hypocrite now? Because he just talked about how he didn't like nostalgic references for no reason. Then he's liking this commercial that was filled with nostalgic references for no reason. But there's a difference. This commercial was made with heart. And it should have had a Care Bear in there. It was fast paced, it was funny, it was very detailed. If you're gonna do the 80s, if you're gonna go back and be like, all right, we're gonna make these nostalgic references, make it fast, make it funny, make it quirky, and that's what this did. There's actually an extended version, a 1-minute version. So some of the cameos that you heard me saying were like, those weren't in that commercial. Watch the 1-minute version online. And also if you go to Radio Shack's YouTube channel, they actually have these bonus videos, kind of the same way that MetLife had the bonus videos online with the cartoon characters. They have one with Hulk Hogan and Sergeant Slaughter. They have one with Alf getting a new cell phone. phone. And my personal favorite, they have Jason using a 3D printer. You just gotta watch it. It's good stuff. I also like to point out in the Radio Shack commercial that cashier was played by Mark Saul, the cast member on All of That, which was a 90s, early 2000s show. He was referencing himself. So welcome back, Shaq. Kudos for making this commercial because you were getting mighty close to the Circuit City graveyard. And if that wasn't enough 80s for your 80s face, Delta puts out this in-flight safety video, and it's also done 80s style. It's got references to Teddy Ruxpin and Rubik's Cube and the little cassette tapes where all the stuff would come out of the cassette tape. You had to like get a pencil and you had to twirl it to make sure it gets back into proper shape. And Star Wipes. I miss you, video toaster. And here's an interesting fact. Alf is in both the Radio Shack commercial and the Delta in-flight video. Alf's making a comeback. Kill me! Yo, Willie! Seriously, give Alf a television show. If you bring Michael Richards back to television, you can clearly bring Alf back to television. I'll let you YouTube how those two connect. Oh wait, I just remember Alf is supposedly gonna get a new movie. I see what you're doing, Alf. You're sticking yourself in little commercials, making people remember you. And then all of a sudden that movie comes out, boom, #1 in the box office. Mel Mackey and Hustle. It's just nice to see the nostalgia come back. If only someone would go out and find like an old cartoon show, maybe made by Disney or something, and try to make a movie out of that now. CGI and live action. If there was only a cartoon from the 90s they could do that with. Now I want to hear from you. What did you think of all the commercials? Did you have a favorite Super Bowl commercial? Did you have a least favorite Super Bowl commercial? And let's make another commercial. If you could just cross over as many pop culture properties at one time, who would they all be and what would you want them selling you? I love you like a play cousin. I'm out of 5,000. Chain chomp, yomp. Jesse Eisenberg was Mark Zuckerberg in The Social Network, and Mark Zuckerberg is probably the closest thing in the real world we have to Lex Luthor. Anyhow. Let it go.